Well, again, some interesting information. Somebody sent me, I have this thing about Russell Simmons coming down to Occupy Wall Street. It's like, I mean, the guy even is promoting his own bank, his credit card, and he is the institution you're fighting against, but yet he's saying um, he's part of the 1%. And somebody sent me some information that I wasn't aware of, so I'm going to share it because I did a little bit of research. Not that I dove in and know this topic inside and out, but I'm going to bring the topic up for you to do your research. But if I pronounce this right, Boule, Boyle, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that is how it's spelled. Boule. It's a Greek word with the meaning serve the king. And I guess what happened is African Americans didn't like being slaves and they were protesting for freedom. And with the uprising, just like the blacks didn't want to be slaves, now the 99% don't want to be slaves. There's patterns within patterns within patterns. It's the same game being played. Um, and I'm noticing that there's a lot of really wealthy African Americans now that seem to be slave masters. It's, Oprah is one of them. She's got a ton of money and is, you work for her. You watch her reality show. She doesn't give a shit. You got to work 24 hours around the clock if you want to work for her. She has zero concern about family, that, oh, you got kids at home and it's, balanced life. There is no good health working for Oprah. She's a slave driver. And she promotes stuff so that she profits a lot. Now, they all come with these handouts. They all come with the, we are really good to you. Like Oprah loves giving away free cars. That giving away free cars was cheaper to give away free cars than it was to purchase the advertising on Oprah. Basically, the amount of advertising that they got by giving out all of those free cars, you couldn't buy advertising like that. That was strictly an advertising campaign that we all look like, oh, Oprah's good, giving away cars. All that did was, you want to hang on to Oprah and worship her and kiss the ground she walks on. Because she gave you something free that got you trapped into believing that you can even afford a car. Which even driving those cars, you're killing how many people in wars through the oil that you need to use to drive those cars with. We can drive cars that don't need gas. I mean, just the fact that we have hybrids, they're showing you that car can run on something else other than gas, but you need that, they're trying to fix our auto industry so we're never really quite getting rid of gas, but it can be done. But they just don't want to because the oil industry, they'll be losing way too much money off this little con game. But anyways, this group is the secret societies, Yale, Skull and Bones. What they wanted to do is infiltrate the black movement. And so they were really, really nice to, some of the smartest and the brightest of the African Americans and made them part of their secret societies. And they gave them all of these, here's all this opportunity we are going to give to you. And these were, the only ones that joined that were there to serve the king. They were not there to serve humanity. They are there to serve the king. So Russell Simmons, that's how he got his success. That's who he is. He is somebody that is serving the king. Oprah Winfrey is serving the king. And there was even a list of who's on the names. Protect the whites. They're there. These people are there, advising them so that they can see if there's any uprising. They can infiltrate groups like Occupy Wall Street. That's what their responsibility is. That's what their role in society is to infiltrate and report back to the Illuminati. The white society responsible for the white supremacy, the first white Greek fraternity, Phi Beta Kappa, the Illuminati, Rhodes, Rothschild, Secret Society, Skull and Bones, the Masons, Round Table Group, the New World Order, One World Government, that's what they seem to be about. I was going to give you the list of names, and some of these names are really, really outstanding. Bill Cosby is on the list. Doesn't he look like the nice fatherly type? And yet there was a death within his family that, you know, maybe he tried to get out of it or something, and there was a suspicious death in his family. I think his son or something. But there's some interesting names. Do some research on this and who are its members, because typically anybody that's going to offer a little bit too much help, you know, has a little bit too much money, and they seem to be profiting off of the very thing we're all against, chances are they belong to this group, either the white side or the black side. There is one guy that I'm very, very concerned about. He's very, very much associated with the United Nations. And he's busy there being extremely helpful, offering tons of help and technology, you know, within the building and the structure of the system. So we are right now in the process where the top are basically infiltrating, you know, and it's like you don't get rid of the movement. You just got to recognize the game and who's willing to sell out. That's what I fear is the sellouts. Who's willing to, you know, sacrifice the rest of the planet so they can get a little paycheck, which at the end it won't work because everything's crashing. Whether you can't be promised by anything. There is nothing you can bribe anybody with that will last any longer. Because we're past the 11th hour. You know, if we don't come together really, really fast and fix all of the problems that are going on, these natural disasters are going to increase, because natural disasters are very much man-made. We are Mother Nature. How we treat the planet, we are mothering the planet. And right now we're looking like we're very abusive parents. And it is mostly because of this group, but we have to take responsibility and not allow them to have power. We've got to recognize them when they show up, and don't be bribed by all of this great help. Look at who they're associated with. They come with a past. You know, this guy, this Tom guy that's in there, he's very much associated with the United Nations. Al Gore's name, Soros, all of these guys that think they got answers that they can't receive any information as to where they're going wrong. They're infiltrating. They're designing the system that they want, not what we want. Do some research. Peace out.